Hi, welcome to Voice It. My name's Ibraheem and I'll be your host for today.
Hi, my name's Aziz and I'm a sales executive.
Hi, my name's Adeel and I'm an accountant.
In today's episode, we're going to be discussing university, the different struggles, and just the day-to-day life in university. So if we'll start with the guests, what do you guys do, and tell us a bit about yourself?
I went to Keele University and I studied biomedical science over a course of 4 years.
I also went to Keele University and I did accounting and marketing.
How did you guys find that, Aziz?
Yeah, good and bad, you know.
Yeah, the struggle.
Yeah, the good and bad. So, exam season, assignments and all that, the workload's a lot.
Yeah.
But, on the other hand, you get to chill. You get to chill a lot. Freedom's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also went to university. I did accounting and finance. I can understand where you guys are coming from. The jump from college straight up to university it's a big
Huge,
jump.
yeah.
And it's sometimes for people that aren't into education and stuff like that, it's quite difficult for them to get into. But we'll start off. I've got a few questions. Nothing too intense, I hope, for you guys. We'll start with Aziz. It's probably one of the important questions. Do you guys think university is important? Is it necessary for everyone to go university?
Some jobs you need to get to where you want to be. Say if you want to be a doctor, you have to go to university, study medicine, do a couple of years in education to be a doctor. Otherwise, there's no other way around it. There's no apprenticeships or anything like that. There's some certain jobs where you have to go to uni. So in that sense, it is important.
Yeah, I do agree with that, but I think at the same time, there are jobs too, like in my field in accounting, where you can do exams at home and not go to university or do apprenticeships. I know, right?
I think it depends on what degree you're actually doing.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing like something engineering based, there's an option for like apprenticeships or something like that. But if you're doing like a normal 9-to-5 job, you won't necessarily need a degree for something like that.
It all depends what you want to do in life, what you want to be. If you don't mind just being lazy.
I think there's like a cultural pressure as well. Like parents sometimes force you to go to university to get a certain degree and make you go somewhere, but you need to go from inside yourself. Do you get me?
Yeah, of course. You need to know what you want to do yourself.
Yeah.
You can do all the studying, but if it's not you, then you're not going to enjoy it, or you're not even going to go into it.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think you need university to be successful?
Again, it goes from the previous point. Like, it depends where you want to be in life.
Yeah.
If you.
So do you think you can be successful without having university?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can make money without being in uni.
Do you think it helps?
It can do. Yeah, it can do in a way. Again, on the role that you're after. If you just want to get a normal job, save, spend money as well, then you don't need uni. But if you have aspirations and you want to be someone in life, then you'd go to uni for that.
What do you guys think the biggest regret is during uni?
Mine would probably be not working as hard as I should have when we had exams.
Yeah, but I think everyone has that one. You gotta think
no,
one
really,
outside.
No, really. In my first year at uni, I resat a couple of exams, so I was too busy chilling or whatever, so I wasn't really paying attention until you're in the resit.
Eye opener.
Yeah, 100%. You're in that resit exam that everyone else is enjoying their 3 months summer holiday, whatever, and you're on the sports halls trying your name again. Yeah.
That sports hall as well. Yeah. The memories from that hall, I'm telling you. Yeah. When we go in now to play like badminton or tennis,
It all comes back, doesn't it?
all comes back, man. What were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, it's probably the same as these, to be honest. Just like having to do resits and things like that, and then not being able to enjoy like the summer holidays as much. And I know for me, like I wasn't doing much work throughout the semester. It's like I remember like the last 3 weeks, me and Aziz would be like doing so much work to catch up. Yeah, we're up to like 3-4 in the morning just trying to catch up with all the lectures and stuff the day before the exams.
What a headache that was, man.
Yeah. And what would you guys say like an average day in uni was like? Obviously, we know what it was like, but starting from the morning right the way to the end.
So I'd get in about 8 o'clock.
Is this you personally or like generally?
This was just me.
Okay.
So I'd get in about an hour before my lecture, 9 a.m. Get Starbucks, caramel latte medium every single day. Yeah. And sit in the library till like 5 to 9, then walk to my lecture. Say a lecture was at like 12, I'd take my coffee to the library, get my laptop out, and just stare at the screen for like 3 hours and not do anything.
I think that's what everyone does, doesn't it?
Yeah, my work didn't kick in till like 5 p.m.
You need a few hours to marinate.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Deal?
I probably did a bit of a lying compared to Aziz. Like, I'd come in at like 11.
What if you had a 9 a.m?
I probably wouldn't go 9 a.m.s.
What?
This is 9 a.m.
You're that guy.
Yeah, but even when I used to go at 11 a.m, I probably wouldn't want to go to my lecture, and then you'd force me to, or like you'd just like keep testing me, then we'd just end up going, and then after that we'd all pretty much just like sit in the library together until like 5 o'clock and try and do work.
I remember you guys would get up 5:30, yeah, 6 ladies for you because you actually work throughout the day. And then once you guys are gone, I was like, now the work starts, now the revision starts, the assignment starts.
Did you even do any work?
No, you didn't.
I didn't know, yeah. when it came to it, I did some graveyard shifts in uni, silly shifts. But I had to. Deadline the closing in. You got 3,000 words to write. It's like
12 hours.
Yeah, you've got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the shifts were crazy.
Would you say it's hard, uni?
Yeah, definitely. Any subject you study.
Yeah.
Cause I know how much you guys are stressed with accounting, and then you looked at my work and you're like, yo, your work's solid, and I look at yours and I was like, I have no idea what your work is. You get me? So every subject is hard. No matter what you do, uni's going to be tough.
Yeah. What about lectures? How are lectures like?
Lectures are pretty chill,
Yeah.
You just roll in, sit down, and then the guy, your lecturer, would just talk. If you had a question, you just put your hand up, shout out. It wasn't as bad as like school and stuff like that. You could be on your phones a little bit, but you can't take the mic.
Yeah.
It was pretty chill. Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy lectures, to be honest, just because I didn't feel like I was learning that much, because a majority of my lectures they were just like pretty much reading straight from the same lecture notes that we were getting anyway. But that's just like personally for me. I know for like Ibs, you went to like all your lectures. I
feel like lectures were good, but I feel like the tutorials helped a lot. It was more like not 1-to-1, but let's say in a lecture hall you've got 60 people, but in a tutorial you've only got 10 people.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you've got questions, it's easier to ask and like
they focus on you a bit more.
Yeah. I definitely recommend like if you're in uni, go to tutorials. They help a lot, and they could help a lot in exams and stuff.
100%. I never really learned anything from lectures.
Yeah.
I'd be copying whatever the lecturers wrote up on the board.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'd be copying. But 95% of my learning itself came from me sitting in the library, either looking at the lectures on my own or someone going over it with me. Yeah. That's how I learned.
I think it's different how people learn. Like for me, like for you that probably worked, but for me I had to write the notes before going into lecture. Then I could listen to what she's saying.
Pay attention.
So like and then I've got my notes already. I don't need to stress.
So I think like when you do go into lectures, while they're trying to speak, if you're just trying to like match them and just write everything down,
you're not focused.
You're not concentrating or anything like that.
100%, man. And like, how do you guys think fitting into uni's like there's this agenda, like you've got to fit in, you've got to have friends straight away, people are partying, like some people, like we know people that didn't party, didn't go out or anything, they're like religious, some people go out every day, like people come from different backgrounds, like how did you guys try and like fit into that stuff?
To be honest with you, I wasn't really forced or phased by any of that, extra curriculum stuff. My first 2 years at uni, I didn't really speak to anyone, just cracked on and just, like I said, chilled with my handful of friends that, that was in my class or already knew from before. But in the last year, that's when I started to speak to a lot more people and, just get to know people like that. But when I first started, there was no, trying to fit in and do what you're doing. I'm just going to go into uni and go home when I feel like, I was driving as well, so there was no waiting on anybody or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think with us all being local to Thankyou, we kind of know people already. I think for me it didn't help in my first year, I didn't know people in my class, and because I didn't try to make friends as much, I refrained from doing tutorials and stuff as much, just because I felt like I was alone. But outside of tutorials and lectures, I had Aziz for my first year and I had a few other friends, so it was okay in that sense, socialising, but probably just not trying hard enough to make friends in my own class and my modules, and even just helping you with work. You haven't got anyone to ask questions and stuff like that.
I think it's important to have friends, but like sometimes you feel a pressure to like you have to be friends with people. Like of course you need friends to like help with work and just general day to day helps you enjoy it a bit more. But I don't think you need friends in that sense where you can have to try and fit in with some people.
No, but they made it out like, what was that, a week called before the first freshers week, yeah. So they gave you that time to get to know, you know, anyone and everyone from different courses. It wasn't just your course. So I think a lot of people, you know, talk about that, met a lot of people. Me personally, not so much.
I think that's probably like people out of town too, when they're coming in from a different town, they probably want to socialise, meet people and stuff like that.
Like you said, we already knew a couple of people from uni, from before uni, so we weren't too fussed on making a lot of friends like that.
Yeah. And what about the cultural pressure? Do you feel like you've got to have cultural, like your parents probably want you to go to uni but you don't want to go to uni?
I think my parents expected me to go, and in college up until the last minute I wasn't sure anyway. Then I think in the last week I got my personal statement written and stuff like that, and I just applied for a couple of subjects. You know, I did biomed, I applied for biochem, chemistry, pharmacy, and then a paramedics staffs. So last week I thought I'll apply for 5 things I've kind of looked into a little bit. You know, got in unconditional. Thought give it a go.
I think it's the same in the sense of my parents probably did expect me to go to university, but if at the time I said I don't want to go to university, I don't think they would have minded as long as I was aspiring to do something rather than just like going for a job that requires no skill or just not caring about anything. I think,
yeah, I know, fair enough. For me it was different. I never went uni at the start. I took a gap year. I didn't really enjoy it, and then I wanted to go to university myself. Yeah, I just worked for a year, and it wasn't something like I didn't have the best job and I didn't enjoy it. So for me, I wanted to get an education and get a proper degree. But yeah, now I'm an accountant. And what is it like, the transition from degree to job? I know if you don't have a degree related job, but Adeel, you can answer that question.
It is a big step. Like, it's a lot different. You'll find there are stuff that relate to your modules and stuff like that, but any entry level role you're learning a lot on the spot. And I think when you're in university you're chilling, you're seeing your friends every day too. There's also that social side of like us guys, we probably see each other like twice a week for like 2 or 3 hours, and it's just the weekends we get, so there's also that side of it. But it is a big,
you know, the hardest bit is from jumping to a job, the free time, because in uni you get so much free time. Like obviously you got your lectures and stuff, but you get like a 3-hour break and you're free after. And
you ain't even in the full 5 days a week. You weren't. Like I haven't got into my degree related job because mine was all lab based. So I'm in the labs and I'm just doing like same sort of thing every day. And I thought I don't really see myself doing this straight away. Maybe in the future, but not right now. So when I got my degree, I was like, I was happy, of course, but I was like, I'll save that for later, like a plan B sort of thing.
When did you know like you didn't want to use your degree to get a job in that field, or was it just something that?
Probably at the end of second year, so we had a lot of lab time then, and then I was going to go into third year and do the whole dissertation, which was all based on labs. Obviously because COVID didn't happen, so I just got a set of results and I worked on this and that. And I think around about that time, in my head I was like, don't really want to be in a lab 9 to 5 for years. I don't know.
True.
There's not a lot of social going on there. You only talk to people, you just get on doing the same thing. It gets a bit boring.
Yeah, fair enough. It's whatever you think at the time, and I think it's hard getting a job anyway just after uni. Like when you're applying for jobs, like I don't know about you guys, but I probably applied for like 100 plus jobs, and like it's actually hard getting a job because they expect you to have experience and stuff like that. Like you just finish uni, but it's one of them. Like we've all got jobs, and it is what it is. It suits us. You get me?
Yeah, that's it.
But
how much do you reckon you spent in uni on food?
That's a question. That
I think I had I don't know who I worked it out with, but I was doing like 1,000 to 1,500.
Just on campus?
Just on that little crappy SD5 that was there in the corner. A year.
There wasn't much there though to spend money on. It's just meal deals I got.
Yeah, there was that, and then there was a little Costco, and obviously Starbucks and Costa.
Yeah.
You say you spent £1,500 over 4 years?
1 year, every year.
No chance. No chance.
I was like 6 grand.
I worked, so I don't know who I worked with. I don't know who
You feed your family sick.
It was like 9 o'clock in the morning every day and I spent a tenner.
That's mad.
Like, it was silly. But, you know.
It's one of them. You get
maintenance
like,
loans, you just do what you want with it.
Fair enough. What about you?
I didn't even spend that much. Most of the time it's just a water bottle, but you try and bring that in or something. And if you want a crisps in the day, but
you know what though? That SD5 was so overpriced and it was dead.
I went there every day.
It was so dead.
how much was it for the food there? Like for
Like
a meal?
five.
Yeah, you're not paying less than a five every time you go in.
Bloody hell, that's crazy, man. And you went there every day.
Every single day.
What about you, Adeel? You are in an accounting job. It's related to your degree.
Yeah.
How is that? Is it different from uni? Is it different from your lectures?
It is quite different. There are stuff that do relate back to what I've done in my uni degree, but there is a lot you are learning, and then it's not just about the actual degree itself. There's also like your communication skills. Like I do a lot of client calls and speaking to people like that, and then there's also just working in a team, and it's a lot harder than you'd expect. But the actual work itself, there are similarities and things like that. You'd know because you do similar stuff to me too, and it is. But there is stuff you still are picking up.
Yeah, I think it's important though that you've got that initial experience now.
Yeah.
Now your foot's in the door. If you don't enjoy it and it's something that you don't want to do in the future, you can just switch, and you know you've got that experience
there.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it. And for people moving away for uni, so say being at Birmingham or Manchester, how hard do you think that would be? I think it would be hard, you know, just with like finances.
Yeah.
Knowing people and then pressure for exams and travelling back and forth.
If I moved out for uni, I would never spend that much money on food every year.
Why?
Not the money.
No, finances wise, it's not possible.
I think you'd have something where you'd start to learn to be cheaper.
No,
I feel like I'm away. I can just spend it.
I met a few people that come from out of town and this and that, and their living compared to mine was a lot different. You know what I mean? I could nicely eat whatever I want every single day, blah blah blah. But then they're worried about, you know, rent money,
stuff,
this and that, and groceries. I'm not worried about groceries. Mum's got a full fridge at home. You get me? I'm just gonna have a takeaway and a nice every day. But yeah, if I was to live away from home, would it be different? Like you manage your finances properly, then you have to.
That's it.
I can't really think of anything in the sense of like I don't really think I'd mind living alone as much compared to because like I can like try and learn to cook and stuff like that.
That's the experience.
I think it's the independence part, trying to make mates. I'm an introvert, and so like I know I wouldn't be able to make mates just as easy as probably like you guys. I know Ibs, you wanted to like move to Manchester.
I'd love to. Like I sometimes think and I'm like, oh, I wish I did, man.
Yeah.
But then I think back and I'm like, the amount of money I'd spend. There's benefits and there's cons as well. But
after you finish, you'd be thinking like,
I could spend like this much money on rent and like wasted this. And to be honest, like who's to say that I would have like
done as well?
Yeah, like it would have made me better and it would have made me worse. Like I could have chilled with the wrong people.
It probably is just more of an experience itself. Because I know like some people they move just for a better university, but I don't think like Kiel compared to Manchester. I know Manchester's a big uni, but I don't think it's like as big as
Kiel's a big uni.
Yeah, I know.
Kiel's a good uni, man. It's a big campus as well. They've just built another vet or something. Is it? Vet building?
The doctors thing, the vet ones.
And the hotels.
Yeah.
Hilton is it? There's just another hotel.
I don't know, I'm not too sure. All them buildings on that left side as soon as you come in, isn't it?
Mm.
Where your business building was
probably
made.
done more, you know.
Yeah.
And what would you guys say your most important lesson is during uni? Something that you've learned that stuck with you in your head? I know. No, for me it's Akram, you know the lecturer when he's banging on the table. And he's like, remember this, remember that. I just remember him, and I'm like, when I'm working, I'm like, I need to know this because like it's gonna help me. So for me, it was probably that, and you know, you learn small things as you go anyway. Like you could probably say finances or like missing lectures, but uni's an experience itself, isn't it?
I think my tutorials were like most beneficial for me in that way because it was full of just scenarios. You know, 'cause I did science related degree. They say, what would you do in this situation? Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's like case studies. We did a lot of case studies. So I learned the most in them classes. So I guess they were the most important to me, really.
I say something similar to Ibs in terms of like, you'd probably do have a few passionate lecturers like Ukram where they're probably banging on about a few tunes, but that's because they know it's going to come up in the exams. And at the time, like me and Ibs were probably just thinking like,
remember that one time in the tutorial, we were just laughing. We were laughing, we had to like jump out of the room, it was mad.
Yeah, crazy.
But yeah, they're the lecturers that like actually help you though. Like from all of the lecturers that I've been to, Akram, like of course he was like to the point and stuff, but that's the guy that stays in my head. I'm like, okay, I think of all the accounting stuff.
Is he like Sona in college?
Yeah, similar. Like she was to the point as well. But
you know, I always think, why are there so many like different nationality based lecturers?
Yeah.
Like, I only had one English one, and
it's one of them. I think maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
They just put the work in, I guess.
It's probably from the country stuff too.
Yeah. And what's I think I know your answer to this one. A caramel latte. But what is the one thing you couldn't survive without in uni?
That's definitely
mine's probably coffee as well. You didn't drink coffee though, so it's different.
Red Bulls, mine was Red Bulls.
Yeah, I can't have that at 7 in the morning.
He used to have coffees and Red Bulls.
Yeah, he's a different level. He's been a family of 6, remember?
I did some graveyard shifts there, so you know, when you're there at 8 in the morning, you don't leave till 3 in the morning. It's like bro, I'll stay till later than that.
Everyone's done like I've done an all-nighter before. And that's horrible.
What, at university?
Yeah, taxation, man. That's crazy.
I'd be there at 8. I'd leave at 3-4. Then I'd be back at 8 the next day.
That's actually.
That was exam season. That was when
was that because you weren't doing enough?
Yeah, that was me making up for lost time.
Yeah.
Really, if I'd balanced it out, then.
But did you correct that in like
no, I did that the whole way.
The whole way.
Yeah, and third year was more or less based at home.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
So not a lot was based inside, so I just chugged even more. But you know, alhamdulillah, it worked out.
Do you guys prefer first year or COVID?
Just
tell everyone how it was like during COVID first, because it's a lot different.
Yeah, it was horrible. So like, at home. School, I think it was on Teams, wasn't it?
Yeah,
everything was on Teams, so everyone's on Teams. Obviously, no camera because no one's dressed up. Nobody dressed up.
There's always that one guy.
You've got the lecturer, he's got the fake background behind you, like on a beach or something. But everyone else's camera's off. You know, some people tell me they jump on the Teams at 9 AM, go sleep, and then wake up at 11 and then cut it off or something like that.
I think I know a few guys.
I was literally just thinking about that.
Is that you? Did you do that? No, a couple of people I know used to do that. I was like, there's no point. But COVID lectures were terrible, waste of a year. Exams wise, a lot easier. Probably the reason I got a decent degree. But, other than that, you didn't socialise. You can't speak to people. You can't go out and see them. And if you were in uni for that time frame when it was open, you have to wear a mask and blah blah blah. You know.
It's like you're locked up.
It wasn't fun.
It was like your mindset. Like you can't really. You
couldn't enjoy uni.
And you know when you got family around you and you're stuck in that one corner of your house.
You can't work on home. I never worked on home.
It's hard, man. Even now when I'm working from home, like with work, it's difficult. I prefer to be in the office where there's people there and like. Feel like I've got to be efficient, I've got to do something.
That mindset on you.
I hated it. I enjoyed it like when things started to ease up, you'd go to uni and then sit with your friends for that day. Even if you had to wear a mask all day long, you used to sit with your boys. Masks are hit nasty, man.
Person would come in and say, put your mask on.
Yeah, honestly.
And you know, because we got beards, it's like, it doesn't fit well.
Yeah, 100%.
It does not go well.
But when it started to ease up, it was better because we got to just, like chill your mates, blah, 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 have fun. It was good though. Experience overall. I enjoyed uni. Probably
I miss uni.
Best time of my life really.
I miss uni. I definitely miss uni.
But that's it.
Fair enough. And graduation. What do you guys think about grad? Obviously, that's the main day, isn't it? How do you guys think graduate? Is it sad? Is it happy?
That was alright. I just went in. I knew I was never going to see those people again. So like I said, I started recording on stage and I come off.
I didn't go to my graduation, so there's no point me going into it.
Oh, you didn't go, did you?
You missed that.
Graduation is good, man. It's like it's more for your family, isn't it? But like you just go there, you not do one of them things.
Carry on,
But I think we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you want to say bye.
Bye.
Yeah.